Breed Global Truth.
Millions of Americans are watching and waiting after TikTok says it will go dark Sunday unless President Biden intervenes. Morgan Norwood joins us now. Morgan, good morning. The clock is ticking.
Yeah, good morning. We're looking at an escalating showdown between TikTok and the Biden administration. The app, as you mentioned, will go dark tomorrow on Sunday unless the administration guarantees app stores, internet providers won't face penalties for keeping the app online. Now, with that said, with that deadline just hours away, some users are savoring their final scrolls while others flock to another Chinese app in protest. This morning, TikTok warning it will shut down for its more than 170 million users in less than 24 hours, putting pressure on the White House to intervene. In a statement overnight, the company saying unless the Biden administration immediately provides a definitive statement that it won't enforce the ban that takes effect by law on Sunday, TikTok will be forced to go dark on January 19th.
That is a whole lot of uncertainty for a lot of creators. TikTok is running out of time. What's going on, brothers and sisters? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. I see y'all rolling in. Tony Jackson's in the building. Wesley VS. Logan, what's going on? Ashley Chavers, what's happening? CJ, salute. So it seems that the Supreme Court stands behind the ban, but there's still some litigation going on with the Biden administration. You know, it seems that all these creators are going to another app called Redbook. And what I'm personally seeing is a crackdown on our civil liberties, freedom of speech, things of that nature. But you know how we do over here. We're going to definitely go into the minutia of all that. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Y'all know how we do on this platform. As you enter, make sure you pound the like button on your way in. Pound the like button on your way in. Let's get to it, y'all.
Hey, they might have fooled me once, but they won't get me twice. The knowledge we receiving is going to light up their whole life. The promise we believe in might just take away their sight. They blinded by the light, resistant to the truth. They put up a good fight, at the end they yelling truce. They sleeping on what's new, and that coma's well induced. Let no man deceive you, let's judge them by their fruits. They rotten to the core, so you gotta chuck the deuce. It's lyrically in tune and spiritually infused. The chosen ones are real, we don't care for worldviews. I'm feeling like an avatar, I'm just passing through, but I'm living to the fullest. Out here we making moves. Got a glimpse of the future, so it ain't hard to choose. Gotta play this back in loops, coded messages produce. Torah is the root, this is manna for the troops. Christ's army I recruit, gliding on these beats like an open parachute. It's like they get the fear of God when we doing what we do. Let's keep doing what we do. This is the word of the wise, light shining, glowing in the mind. Now the soul is refined. He must have heard our cries. Now the fate of the blind, trapped in space and time.
When we step up in the room, got a light that's giving life. Anything that you presume, we'll be standing on that pipe. Tell me, why do you assume that I'm weak because I'm kind? No, I serve a man of war, he's my head and I'm his mind. This horse that I've been riding like a phoenix taking flight. Got my mind about the gutter and some stamina to suffice. I don't do manipulators, no, my mind is not enticed. Oh, you got articulation, I can tell you compromise. Step up in the room, there's a different enterprise. Moves with strategy and militants reward you with the light. Now I'm standing in the room where the men and women wise. I'm a child of the immigrants, Latina Israelites.
This is the word of the wise, light shining, glowing in the mind. Now the soul is refined. He must have heard our cries. Now the fate of the blind, trapped in space and time.
Hope everybody is having a beautiful Sabbath. Hope everybody is feeling good. I got some announcements to make before we get into the broadcast. First and foremost, I want to put out there that this month's projections with the Nobility brand is doing absolutely amazing. The projections are fantastic. I want to thank each and everybody for actually supporting the clothing line, Nobility, on newbreed.love. Y'all been very receptive to the designs. I know it's a whole lot of people walking around real fly out here. I know that when y'all rocking that fly Nobility gear, I already know the haters and the scoffers and trolls. I already know how they feel about, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters representing the cause. You know what I'm saying? I know how it is. I know, look, a lot of enemies just be flabbergasted. They be bewildered. They just be really, you know what I'm saying, dumbfounded. They be going through excruciating pain trying to figure out what's happening, why the Most High just shining and blessing his people. But I just want to thank y'all. I got some real day ones. I want to shout out all my people who never switched up, who always been supportive of my material. Y'all are amazing, and I'm most grateful for y'all's participation over here on my platform. I got one of the most respectful, enlightened chats on YouTube. All right. So I just want to, put that out there. Things are looking very good with the clothing line. There's new designs coming. So I want to put that out there. And also, I just want to give a brief message to you, brothers and sisters, before we get into the news, right? A little bit of motivation, if you will. If you are out there facing persecution, if you're dealing with a lot of scandal, backbiting, jealousy surrounding your name, and all you doing is focusing on lifting the kingdom of the Most High, I got to remind you, you're doing something right, right? You're doing something right, and you got to continue on that righteous path and continue being set apart, all right? Don't let nobody get you out of character. Don't let anybody take you off your purpose. Keep on elevating. Keep on striving for excellence. Keep on self-improving, right? Don't worry about nothing else. Stay into the word and weather the storm, brothers and sisters. Weather the storm, right? Now, I just wanted to, say that. A little bit of motivation, if I could. Once again, I see you brothers and sisters rolling in. Shout out to Lon Diamond. Y'all make sure y'all support Lon Diamond's book, all right? You can actually Google her book, Old World, New Testament. Pardon me, New Breed, Old Testament. And she interviewed me on a trip to Jamaica during our spiritual retreat. And that book is on sale. You can get it from all outlets, Barnes and Noble, and so forth. So y'all can Google that book and you can order that and show that sister some support. She just did a very, very good job in that interview. So check it out and show your support. You know what I'm saying? You got to give a little to get a little, right? Let me see here. Somebody says, amen to that. Let's weather the storm. All praises to the Most High. Absolutely. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Now, TikTok is going dark starting tomorrow. So that doesn't mean TikTok is done. For the record, who knows? Perhaps Trump gets in office along with Elon Musk and they save TikTok. I personally believe that's what's going to happen. I believe Elon Musk is going to purchase TikTok. I mean, he's purchasing every other social media outlet that's popular or ones that have falling off, and he's, revamping them. So before everybody get too in the riff, the possibility of Elon buying TikTok is really on the table, right? But I know what it's like to be uncertain about where your next paycheck coming from, where your next dollar coming from. This is for all the creators out there on TikTok who have been putting out that work. as you can see, it's the Democrats who are not coming with an agreement. And it's probably because of so many woke TikTok video clips that have went viral over the last 2 years. That's what it is, brothers and sisters. Telling you right now. That's what it is. And if TikTok remains, I believe you brothers and sisters who have been putting out that real content that you are able to pretty much condense or consolidate into a small package and put a lot of information out in a short, then I advise that you start going even harder if they're able to somehow resurrect TikTok as it's going dark, right? Let's get more information on this. Let's get to it.
What am I supposed to do?
Thank you for saving my life and changing my life, TikTok.
TikTok's threat to shut down comes after the Supreme Court sided with the federal government's national security concerns and not the company's free speech claims, citing TikTok's data.
Now, I want you to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. The reason it's being shut down, like I said, it's a battle on freedom of speech. They're attacking conscious people, people who know what's going on. This is why more often than not, we end up getting shadow banned, falsely flagged, removed. We don't get the notoriety. We don't get the push. We don't get what we deserve because, look, the Fed in them, they want a bunch of dumb, docile people walking around who are dopamine addicts who do not think and have absolutely no knowledge. That's what they want. So creators such as myself and others, we have to go against the grain just to put this information out. That's why I recommend that everybody follow me on Patreon as well, because you just never know where my material is going to end up. And what I hope all these other creators learn is that you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. If your audience really rocking with you, they'll be willing to follow you to whatever platform. Now, that's just what it is. People who really not supportive of you, let them go. They're not meant to receive your knowledge. If they're not willing to actually help the cause, if they're not willing to follow you from one platform to the next, and you know, it's convenient. It's from the privacy of your own home. All you got to do is sign up for another app and follow that person. A lot of these TikTokers can go right to YouTube and make shorts. So here, I'm promoting YouTube. Come on over here to YouTube and make shorts. If your audience really rock with you, they're going to follow you. Anyway, let's go.
Free speech claims, citing TikTok's data collection practices and relationship with the foreign adversary. If TikTok doesn't cut ties with its China-based parent company ByteDance, it could be blocked with fines for app stores and internet.
Now, of course, they're coming in the auspice of national security, because a long time ago, they told us that TikTok was Chinese spyware, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Trump doesn't come and save TikTok, or his administration leaves TikTok in the dark, because Trump was one of the people who was also saying that they're spying on you through these apps, particularly TikTok. And to be honest with you, to be straight up with you, all these applications are spying on you, to be quite frank. And everything here is produced by China. We worried about TikTok spying on you. Look, your Alexa is spying on you. There's a ghost in the machine. Your Siri is spying on you. That's why Siri always saying things randomly and you ain't even talking. You didn't ask Siri nothing. Google is spying on you. So, you know, they like to play these little games in semantics. The truth is they're aiming at freedom of speech. They're aiming at those who are speaking a certain way and exposing a lot of secrecy from the cabal. That's what's happening. Let's go.
Net service providers of up to $5,000 per user, with TikTok possibly in its final hours.
Hello, TikTok refugees from the US. Welcome to Red Note.
Americans are fleeing to Red Note in protest, another Chinese social media app.
So y'all gonna go from one Chinese app to another Chinese app. Listen, brothers and sisters, and I'm speaking to us right now. We need to be making our own apps. We need to be making our own apps. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's a lot of intelligent brothers and sisters out there who can make apps. And all it takes is for people to support it. You know, why do we continually build these platforms up without even doing something for ourselves? There's nothing wrong with being on these platforms. I'm on these platforms. But you also want to be doing something for self, right? And just the thought, right? Let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's Ross and Granny here.
For content creators like Ross Smith and his grandmother, Gangster Granny, who together amassed more than 24 million TikTok followers, starting over on a new platform is daunting. He says 30% of his income comes from TikTok.
We're going to lose a lot of business. It's provided a lot of jobs for people in our lives, too. Like, we've been able to pay people's salaries because of TikTok.
President-elect Trump, who takes office just one day after the ban could take effect, has vowed to try to save the app, saying Friday, my decision on TikTok will be made in the not-too-distant future.
Okay, here we go. So Trump is going to make a decision. I can remember Trump claiming that TikTok was, or at least Republicans, it might not have been Trump. So I'll stand corrected on that. It says, my decision on TikTok will be made in the not too distant future, but I must have time to review the situation. Stay tuned. All right. See, Elon Musk might be buying it. They may be green lighting it. See, this is crazy when presidents and political figures are in charge of social media. Whether or not a platform is able to flourish, a platform is able to be green lit, is in the hands of politicians. So that should tell you where the political game is going moving forward.
But he must have time to review the situation. Stay tuned. TikTok CEO thanking Trump for his commitment to find a solution.
I want to thank President Trump for his commitment. This is a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship.
And a White House official telling ABC News that the administration has already made things clear, gone through extraordinary lengths to communicate its position, stating that this will all be up to the Trump administration to implement and enforce the law.
Okay, so we saw TikTok CEO there thanking Trump. We know that Trump has invited the CEO to the inauguration, but realistically, what can Trump do in this case here?
So as you can see, this is a war against arbitrary censorship. The news is telling you exactly what it is. And when there's so much good information that they cannot seize, then they're just going to shut everything down. This is what they're trying to tell us, right? There is no freedom of speech. The First Amendment has been destroyed in America. You have the freedom to say what you want, and it comes with the consequences. And if you're speaking the truth, the consequences are dire. Right? That's just what it is. Let's go.
Certainly the president does have some influence here. He may try to get TikTok to broker some sort of deal to change hands. Remember, they want to try to force the sale. That's been the government's issue here. But even if that does happen, if China approves all of that, that's also a major sticking point and attention point here. The way that we experience TikTok will certainly change. I mean, the national security concerns lies within that data-driven algorithm. That's going to have to be overhauled. So you're going to have a new algorithm and certainly a new app.
Now, this Red Book app that people are going to is very interesting. We got to talk about that for a second, because that Red Book app represents tyranny. It really does. I want you to know, or what is it called? The Red Note, AKA the Red Notebook. I want you to know what that means in China. I want you to know what it means. The Great Red Book. Let me show you this real quick, so you can understand it's all about control. Let's go there. The Little Red Book. Oh, let me share it on the screen real quick, because people just think these apps are just made up out of nowhere. No. So we're talking about the Maya Tsung Little Red Book. And this book right here is all about the Communist Party of China. So when it's talking about the red book, the red note is actually talking about communism. So you will already know what the app is going to be based on. Hold on. Let's see. Information is power. When you come over here, prepare to learn. Prepare to learn here. Peep the game, though. The red book. It says the most popular version was, well, let's read. It says the edition of radical reprints. Let me find if I could find a dissertation of the book real quick. Quotations from Chairman Mei Sing Tung's in book. It says of statements from speeches and writings by Mao Zedong, formerly romanicized of Mao Zedong. Pardon me, y'all. These names, right? It's a Communist Party of China, published in 1964, about 1976, widely distributed, of a cultural revolution. Communism. That's what they're going to be pushing. And what I want y'all to understand, brothers and sisters, America is headed towards communism. It's headed towards communism. So people are going to go from TikTok to jump on Redbook. Now, in case you don't know what communism is, it's pretty much where you are under a social system, pretty much a social credit system. You will do what you were told by the government. You lose your freedoms. They can tell you how many children that you're going to have. They can tell you where to go. They can tell you what to post, what not to post. And Americans are willingly jumping to red note. So what I want you to understand is the media is pushing you towards this. This is why you're seeing this all over the media. They want you to inherit communist philosophy. The rabbit hole goes deep. It's all about control, y'all. I'm telling you. Now, there's a lot of creators who are outraged. A lot of TikTokers who, are losing it all. And we got to talk about this Red Note app that they're talking about going to, because they somehow believe that it's going to be better for them. So let's go there. Let's go to this other source here. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you're watching this broadcast, you want to watch this entire stream this evening. This stream is going to be elite. Some of the information I'm going to be bringing out on LA. You do not want to miss it. I'm giving y'all a two-parter. I'm giving you the rundown on TikTok, and then we're going to jump forward, and it's going to get serious. So brace yourselves, get y'all's libations ready. Trust and believe there's going to be a lot of edification, a lot of truth being shared. Now let's pull this up here. One moment. All right, let's get to it. And I want everybody to hit the like button. Do me that favor, brothers and sisters. Hit the like button.
Use social media app in the US iOS store. It's called Red Note, and it's not easy for non-Chinese speakers.
TikTok refugee here, and I just want to say
a Chinese platform was the top free-to-use social media app in the US iOS store.
They're calling themselves TikTok refugees. To go over there to the communist Red Book app, the Red Note app.
It's called Red Note, and it's not easy for non-Chinese speakers to use.
Dude, am I the only one who feels like a grandpa on this app? I don't know what the heck's going on or how to use it. Can someone help?
And yet, in a live chat room viewed by 26,000 American and Chinese users, there they are. Users introducing themselves as TikTok refugees, being welcomed with open arms.
Nobody actually expects this to happen.
Is it crazy to you guys?
I'm kind of scared.
Wait, isn't it weird though? Because they were trying to ban it because they were like scared of Chinese, like the communists.
Oh, they just brought it up. It says, wasn't they trying to ban it because they're like scared of Chinese and communist-ish? That's exactly what the app is about. There's going to be a lot of communist propaganda. There's going to be a lot of, when I tell you, they're going to be spreading certain messages and ideologies, certain philosophies that people are going to inherit knowingly and unknowingly. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Instead of looking at the situation and understanding the uncertainty behind it and how you should maneuver wisely, you're going to go into a communist app that's going to take away even more freedoms. TikTok is being hidden right now, blacklisted right now because of freedom of speech. And this is the alternative. Yeah, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop compromising for these platforms. All right. Anyway, let's go.
And then we just come to a Chinese app.
The best thing that could have ever happened.
Is everyone just coming over from America?
Yeah.
Yeah, we in here.
Why are Americans?
Brothers and sisters, if you are getting bumped out of the chat after a commercial airs, let me know by show of ones in the chat. If you're getting bumped out of my streams when ads come on, let me know, because that seems to be what's happening every time, right? If that's an issue, let me know so I can kindly report it. And if you find yourself having to come back after an ad airs, let it be known within the chat by show of ones, because I'm noticing this is what's happening. Some people didn't get the notification. See, these are the type of things that we got to deal with. So I want everybody to do me a favor to make sure that this powerful material gets spread. Y'all have to like the videos and consider becoming a YouTube premium member as well to avoid the ads, right? All right. Thank y'all. Peace and blessings. Let's go.
Americans flooding it? In Mandarin Chinese, the app is called Xiaohongshu, meaning Little Red Book.
Little Red Book. Just talking about this.
The industry has more recently started calling it Red Note. The software features a recommendation algorithm similar to TikTok, with content like Pinterest and a community resembling Reddit. It's also one of the biggest social media platforms in China, with an estimated 300 million monthly active users, mostly young, highly educated women, according to Chinese social media data provider Tiangua. Half of them are Gen Z, and 1 in 10 are white-collar workers living in big cities. Based in Shanghai, RedNote took off in 2013. But why did it take so long for Americans to find their way to the app? Unlike TikTok, RedNote is designed and developed for Chinese users.
It's in a completely different language,
So it's not even designed for you, brothers and sisters. Listen, our people are jumping all on RedNote. We're the #1 consumers, man. Even on social media, we refuse to create our own platforms. We get everything popping. Next thing you know, RedNote is going to be the most popular app. Why? Because we're standing behind it. Look, brothers and sisters, we got to stop the foolishness. Now, I know that there's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people's lives are changing. I do get it. People are leaving TikTok. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, people losing millions of dollars based on this. As a content creator, that is your lifeline, your source of income, and so forth. So I get it. But RedNote, Red Book, it ain't going to be no better than what TikTok is doing right now. Let's go.
completely different country with completely different rules. I also downloaded RedNote. I obviously used the translation, Google Translation, to create that account. But it didn't take a long time. It was very simple. It took a few minutes. But again, if you don't have an English version, going back and forth between Google Translate is going to be very frustrating in the long term.
Despite such barriers, the tide has clearly turned, with over 700,000 new users downloading the app between January 13th and January 15th, 2025. Although the migration to RedNote seemingly happened overnight, it has been a long time coming.
that TikTok, poses a problem and an issue. And so we have concerns about that as it relates to Americans' data, collecting Americans' data. And
now, mind you, America's acting like they have an issue with our data being collected by China. Isn't America the same place that lost everybody's social security number? Isn't America the same place that don't know what's going on in their own airspace? How many of y'all remember that? Where all our social security numbers were compromised last year. But they're worried about TikTok having access to American citizens. Let me tell you something. They're all together. China and America are in agreement. They playing you, the people. They playing us. They playing we. America is in a whole lot of debt with China. And guess who the stock is? Guess who the investment is? Guess who the leverage is? You, brothers and sisters. All them women that's TikTok dancing and showing their body parts and walking back and forth and showing themselves dressed a certain way. Guess what? America done sold you out. TikTok been watching y'all for 2 years now, along with most of the other applications that they got. They've been tracing IP addresses. China practically owns America. This should be called the United States of China. Practically all of our goods come from China. But then they get on the television and they make you believe that they're at odds and they're afraid that TikTok is taking your information. No, brothers and sisters. It was set up that way so they can have your information because you, the people, are the stock and the leverage. You, the people, are pretty much spoils of war, booties of war, because that's what they call it, booty. That's where that word came from. How many of y'all knew that? The word booty means spoils of war. Now, when you get on TikTok, all you see is booty. Who you think watching the booty? China. The same people that said that they will pay, the same people they said that they will pay black men $200,000 for some sperms. What you think they'll do with the black woman? Y'all got to understand it. The rabbit hole go deep. We talking about organ harvesting. It's so much that goes on. Yo, there's two different worlds, right? There's the world they show you on the media, and then it's what's really happening. How everybody's making money hand over fist off the people. Don't fall for the charades and smoke and mirrors. Don't let these people fool you. Yeah. Let's go.
Potential national security risk. And we've been very, very clear on that.
TikTok boasts more than 170 million users in the US, but Washington has expressed fears.
And let me put this out here too for the record. TikTok is never had the same material that it has in China that's in America. The algorithm is totally different. In China, those youth, Chinese youth, they're looking at revolutionary images on TikTok. They're looking at how-to videos. They're looking at historical content on TikTok. Their algorithm pushes something totally different than what you're seeing in America. But see, the issue is some of the conscious people, the woke people, the spiritually enlightened people started taking to TikTok. Telling you what happened. Those who were showing what's going on behind the scenes. Those who was educating the people. And it's a lot of young people. And guess what? It's a lot of young melanated men and women that's pointing out some real stuff on TikTok. I'm telling you right now, bringing a lot of good information. So much so they could not control it no more. You know why? Because even though They were prejudiced towards our people. I remember when TikTok was in hot water from Ussins because they were stealing all our dance routines. It was people who was making up dances, young ladies that were coming up with dances, young men. And guess what? They were getting shadow banned. And they were letting other nations get the glory, get the accolades from things that we were doing. So TikTok was being prejudiced, but somehow, some way, Ussins, we still got it popping on TikTok. And let me tell you something. Anywhere we go, we're going to get it popping. Israel is the salt of the earth. Whatever app that we grace our essence with, any app that we show up for, they going to be popping. We got this platform popping. Of course, they don't give us the credit because they want to give it to celebrities. Us, you know, those such as myself and others who've been around for a long time made this platform pop. But now celebrities who fell off then pretty much took over this platform, and they're trying to gear this platform towards them. And we still got to strive and fight for crumbs. That's what has happened. The originators, the real content creators. Let's go.
Over its ownership by Chinese internet company ByteDance. The U.S. House of Representatives overwhelmed.
That's right. Somebody said it in the chat. Look, the Edomites and Moabites, they got agreements with each other. The Edomites and the Moabites, the Chinaman and the so-called white man, they have agreements with each other. And don't think that they're at odds. They're in business. They're not in odds. They're not at odds. They're in business. The Bible says, let us come together in crafty counsel to cut them off from being a nation. So the name of Israel would no longer be in remembrance. That's all of them. All of them. Y'all got to start understanding how important you are in the grand scheme of all this. And I'm talking to you, brothers and sisters from the diaspora. You so-called black people in America. You actually the biblical Israelites. And the world has been exploiting your greatness. All these platforms exploit your greatness. Even you ladies with your beauty. Your beauty drives in traffic. It drives in numbers. So what you got to understand is at some point, you got to recognize your greatness and apply it for your own people and for yourself. And that's what needs to be learned and stuff like this, because you got to imagine how many creators are losing right now and nobody really cares. Nobody cares that people are not going to be able to pay their bills no more who was making content on TikTok. As if they wasn't doing the world a service. But if it was nothing but booty clapping on there and it was no balance whatsoever, they will have no problem with it. That's why OnlyFans still exists. How many of y'all knew that OnlyFans is not just a corn site? How many of y'all knew that? A lot of people didn't know that. You don't have to get on OnlyFans to shake your tail. You can OnlyFans, you can actually make content for only your fans. But it has become notoriously known for women prostituting, pretty much. But it still remains. It still exists. That's the type of world you in. Anytime they can't control the information has to go. Don't let these people make you believe it's freedom of speech. You're only free to congregate amongst people who are like-minded. There ain't even no freedom of speech in your everyday life. Be careful who you give your information to. Be careful who you speak truth to. Some of your own friends and family will line you up for the kill because you done told them something that was real. Have I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Telling you. Let's go.
Overwhelmingly passed a bill in 2024 to force the app to divest from its Chinese owner or face a ban in the country. Fear of being suddenly knocked offline has sent TikTokers flocking elsewhere, and experts say Red Note has been immediately affected as a result.
There's been a huge change in what this platform's content looks like. So a lot of messages are about people introducing themselves. A lot of content is in English language. A lot of comments are in English. A lot of newcomers set goals like, oh, I will learn Chinese and please help me out.
The hashtag TikTok refugee was viewed 370 million times on Red Note in just 3 days. How did this happen so quickly?
How did that happen so quickly? It happened by design. They control the algorithm. They control what happens. And now politics and social media have merged, brothers and sisters. Now they saying because of Biden and them, y'all ain't able to have your TikTok, but can Trump save it? He got to look at the situation. Since when has social media become a political thing? Ain't it just social media? Brothers and sisters, do you see what they have done? They have politicized social media. That's step one to controlling what you say. Because you can say something that makes it all the way to the White House. That's what that means. It's very easy for you to say something online that makes it all the way to the White House, where the Secret Service is now watching you. Now, of course, the Secret Service and the Fed got to do their job, but this is going to be done on a whole nother level. I'm talking about deeper than the Patriot Act. Let's go.
The Post spoke with a TikTok influencer with more than 180,000 followers who joined Red Note.
I'm not shocked because I know some people are just doing it as like a big FU to the American government, which I think is kind of funny in general. So like I saw a video, I think it had like 1 million views when I saw about Red.
She believes they're doing it to give a big FU to the American government. No, the American government and China are working tangentially. The people are being played. Let's go.
So like it was already popular in that way, and then I was like, oh, like what is that? And so like I went to go download it, and then I played around with it, and now like so this kind of it's like a trickling event. But yeah, so yeah, my intentions weren't like F the government, I'm gonna go over there. I was just like, oh, like this is something that everyone's over here. Okay, let me go see what it's talking about, and then I made an account. So that's just kind of how it is. Because if they're gonna
and look, I want y'all to use common sense here. If the government didn't want you to go to Redbook, why the hell would they put it on mainstream news that people are going to Redbook? Why would they promote? Because that's what it is, it's promotion. Why would they promote Redbook on the news if they didn't want you to go there? They took you from one surveillance Chinese communist spyware app to another one. One that's more sophisticated, more than likely. To do what? Watch the people. To have a stock on the leverage, the people. Well, how y'all think these people are being trafficked? Why you think we got the most missing women in the country? What you I mean, look, you live in a highly surveilled nation. You got to think about this. How is there so many missing people with you got drones, satellites that can zoom down and see a penny on the ground, whether it's heads or tails. You got cameras everywhere. All the vehicles got smart devices and tracking devices, global positioning networks. But the American government can't find these missing people. And with all that, the American government is worried about TikTok spying. No. Through social media, so many people get snatched up. That's the part people don't talk about. Why? Because they can trace your IP address. That's why I be warning women, telling you sisters, look, showing everything you doing, dropping that location, you know, showing your body all online. Look, there's always somebody watching. You got to be safe out here. Brothers don't be just talking about y'all ladies out here, you know, showing yourselves off and doing all that for no reason. Brothers is thinking about your safety. You're living in a sick society right now. And some of y'all won't recognize it until you're in a hostile situation. Let's go.
Shut this down. It's like, well, where else are we going to go?
As a protest, as a way to primarily spite the government, a lot of TikTok creators and TikTok users decided to enter a real Chinese app. What do I mean by real? Because TikTok international version is actually headquartered in Singapore, and it has its servers outside of mainland China. And as the CEO of TikTok Global has mentioned, it's not really a Chinese company or operation. And now they're going to Xiaohongshu, Red Book, which is a Chinese company with servers in the country, with headquarters in mainland China.
I personally don't watch the news just because, one, the news is like really depressing, and then plus like they try to like sway your, you know, view on things. So I'm just kind of sad that if TikTok really does go like, I'm not going to be in, you know, the know of like what's really going on out there. So yeah, so I do support the protest because I was like,
signing up for another communist app is not a protest. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. Let's fast forward a little bit.
God, that is not real Chinese food.
It's American Chinese food.
Yes. So imagine like Taco Bells.
America, I'm just a blue collar worker sitting here in Colorado. I will tell you anything and everything. So real Chinese people speak with real American people directly, without VPNs, without media curation.
So that's part of the one world agenda. The world is getting smaller and smarter, smaller and smaller. And they're also going to be implementing the artificial intelligence voice translators or language translators in this app. Mark my words, I'm telling you. There's going to be a lot of apps doing that, where you can be speaking to somebody in a foreign country and you can speak regularly, just like I'm speaking. Well, you can be speaking English rather. And it will translate in your voice in their language. It'll be your exact voice, all your fluctuations, everything in their language. It's the Tower of Babel all over again. Mankind always going to try to do the same thing over. Ain't not new under the sun. That's how you know you coming close to judgment. They're going to make it seem like, yo, this is the best thing in the world. Nope, the world is getting smaller for a reason. They're setting it up for the one world government. They're setting it up for the one world religion. And they're also perverting the scriptures when it speaks about the gift of tongues. See, the Most High can really teach you different languages. Contrary to popular belief, the gift of tongues is not people out here speaking gibberish. The gift of tongues is actually being able to have the skill to learn another language almost seamlessly. That's the real gift of tongues. Because tongues mean languages. Now, let's go.
But they actually have an opportunity, probably for the first time in a long, long time, to interact directly.
Beijing so far has signaled that it welcomes cross-cultural interaction.
我们认为使用何种社交媒体是个人
It welcomes cross-cultural interaction. See, you got to read between the lines. They want you all to be interacting with people directly from this place and that place. Matter of fact, they're starting to build portals for you to be able to do so as well. There's one that just erected in Detroit, a whole portal, ladies and gentlemen. There's some in New York. And in this portal would be some type of hologram image where you can see people in real time, live in their respective country and communicate with them. Satan is trying to make the world smaller. I mean, this stuff is ramping up rapidly. Let's go.
的选择。作为原则，中方一向支持和鼓励与各国加强人文交流，促进民心相通。
In China, censorship has been strict for many years.
So if China has a lot of censorship, why are American people signing up for an app that is based on communism, coming from a country that is extremely stringent when it comes to freedom of speech? Think about this. You're literally agreeing to have your freedoms taken away. Let's go.
Increasingly,
Moab and Edom are working together.
More so since 2021. Billions of social media accounts have been shut down. Chinese companies have created different versions of their services, like Douyin for domestic audiences and TikTok for everywhere else.
We have to keep in mind that TikTok US was ruled by US laws, while Red Note is subject to China's internet censorship.
Whoa, y'all hear that? I mean, hey, look, I'm saying this stuff and I'm actively researching right now, and I'm already speaking a lot of things, and it's just happening. I want y'all to hear what they just said.
TikTok US was ruled by US laws.
TikTok US was ruled by US laws. Now they're setting up the American citizens to go under communist Chinese censorship laws. So I am curious to see how Trump is going to deal with this. Oh man, Trump, what are you going to do? Are you really examining the situation? Because if Trump sees this going on, there's no way he should allow it should be no way he shuts down TikTok. Because if he shuts down TikTok, people are going to go to Redbook. Telling you.
While Red Note is subject to China's internet censorship.
Now, China's internet censorship going to be on a whole nother level. You say the wrong thing, you're removed immediately.
So once the Chinese authorities or the Chinese regulatory bodies, start censoring.
Yo, Chinese authorities will kick your door down and beat you over the head with the billy clubs if you say the wrong thing on an app. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. America's gearing up to be like China. Imagine you say the wrong thing online and now the feds is at your front door and all you doing is putting information out. Information that they label a conspiracy theory for whatever reason. Now you got the men in black showing up. Because that's how it go down in China. There's people who teach the Bible in China and their homes get hit. I'm talking about SWAT team style. Homes get swatted for reading the Bible, teaching it online, praising Jesus. That actually happens. They look in China, there's people locked up because they read the Bible or teach the Bible. That's right. Daughter of God, this is the grooming process right here. Y'all don't see it? See, when you hear all TikTok got shut down, people don't really dig that deep into it. No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
Some of the content that is not maybe relevant to the Chinese culture, or the Chinese authorities feel that it's not, does not suit well for the Chinese audiences, or does not follow the Chinese law or the Chinese content regulation, they are going to start cracking down on it. And the moment those regulatory and legal measures kick in, many experts believe that the Americans may begin to leave.
There's also a possibility that Red Note could be banned in the US for the same reasons as TikTok, raising fear among Chinese users who live outside the mainland.
为什么我现在首页上面的洋抖难民越来越多了？谁来关心一下海外的国人啊？就是小红书是可以从美区直接下载，这就是为什么你能看到很多洋人在。
Yeah, so she's saying that Red Note can be downloaded right from the American app, which is interesting. That's because they're together.
就是小红书上，而不是在抖上面。我现在最怕的事情就是美国政府。
Y'all gotta understand that these World Economic Forums, at these conferences that world leaders come together and have, they're discussing things like this: how to come together, how to bridge gaps. This is what happens.
把小红书也连做了，然后一起下架。
Rednote has received investment for a number of high-profile technology companies, including Alibaba and Tencent, which are also Chinese. So I think, fast forward a few months, I wouldn't be surprised if Rednote comes under the same scrutiny that TikTok has over the last 2 years.
But some experts
look, every few years they're going to be replacing with new apps. Oh man, every few years, out with the old, in with the new. That's just how it works. Hope everybody's ready. Hope everybody's ready. We are about to transition to part 2. Told y'all this was going to be a 2-parter. Hope everybody got their libations ready. Hope everybody's feeling good and feeling great. Yeah, somebody said Squid Game season 2 dropped for a reason. How was Rome oh man, this person on point. Squid Game season 2 dropped for a reason. How was Rome destroyed? Circus, right in front of our eyes. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's real talk. We're about to start cooking with gas, y'all. But since we on this 2-parter, you know how we gonna do, man. We're gonna run a song break. During the song, if you're ready to hear about the diabolically shocking plan for the Los Angeles 2.0, then y'all know what to do. You gotta hit them likes. You gotta run the likes up. Let's get to it.
Too much American dreaming and Hollywood scheming, living life with no reason, just lying and scheming. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. I knew some two-bit hustlers and petty schemers, living life in treason and never found meaning. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. He met the devil in the form of a private dancer, out in magic throwing dollars and swiping plastic. Shorty plug with the rappers and trappers, credit card scammers, shorty wild scandalous. Whispered in his ear and said she had a plan that make more money than he ever had. She just need a line of credit, come get it while it lasts. Cause this one here in high demand. He thought he was the man, but he really in the jam. Cleared his whole account, there he stands without a kickstand. A year later, she was drug raped and killed. They found her body filled with 8 rounds from American Dream. Too much American dreaming, it's like a disease. Blue hunters stay fiending, jumping off of the deep end. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. I knew some two-bit hustlers and petty schemers, living life in treason and never found meaning. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Young and fresh out of high school, a jock with a bright future, but he's got no direction. Here come the army recruiters, say they got benefits, a house and a picket fence, enough for the newest whips, fresh out the dealership. Seems like the perfect fit, and his girl pregnant. Time to be militant, the country is at war. Placed on his second tour, stepped on a landmine. now he is no more. He promised to come back, and shorty that lost hope. Where is the love at? The army ain't give a shit but a coin in a book scrap. The look that's on her face, America's disgrace, a dream or a nightmare. This place ain't playing fair. American dreaming, it's like a disease. Blue hunters, they fiending, jumping off of the deep. And Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. I knew some two-bit hustlers and petty schemers living life in treason and never found meaning. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Too much American dreaming and Hollywood scheming, living life with no reason, just lying and scheming. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Lord help us all. Too much American dreaming. Even the preachers, police and leaders, let's render what Caesars. Lord help us all. Too much American dreaming. Too much American dreaming.
What do you say to people that say you turn?
Hold on.
Infrastructure today, Tuesday, February the 27th, 2018. And there will be other local, state, and federal officials who will be taking part as well. So they talk about the topics that will be discussed to include and prepare for a resilient city. It's all about resiliency, fire safety, utility infrastructure, and strengthening and improving our community warning programs. So I want to go over some of the things that I heard in this meeting. It's very diabolical. All the perpetrators of this event are here. They're building up from a planned disaster by the use of directed energy weapons, which you can hear that interview in full by Googling the plan to burn up Northern California. And of course,
this is on your site, stopthecrime.net.
Yes, and I am, of course, Deborah Taveras, and I do run the website stopthecrime.net, where you can find that plan to burn up Northern California as well. But the agenda here today by the perpetrators here in Northern California was to, again, discuss the community warning program, preparing for a more resilient county. Now, for many of you, I've reported on resilient cities. I would recommend that you go to the YouTube Kill Cities by Rothschild and Rockefeller to understand what resilient planning is all about in your town. This is happening here in Sonoma County, but it's an extension of UN Agenda 21.
I believe her name is Deborah Valdez or Valdez. It's Deborah Valdez. Somebody was asking, who is this lady? And as you can see, back in 2009, she was talking about Agenda 21 and the plan to burn down Northern California. Now, brothers and sisters, this woman was absolutely, emphatically, 100% correct. Everything that she said, she's been right on the money about it. She had whole seminars, whole websites. See, I started digging, and I came across this particular interview here. And the name of the interview is Plan to Burn Up Northern California. This happened back in 2018. The plan to burn up Northern California disclosed. Now, we all had our speculations of what's going on. But this seems to be more diabolically insidious than we expected. We're going to get into the minutia of all this. We get into the details, the nitty gritty. And we got to break down what the plan is. What is the plan for Los Angeles 2.0, aka the city of fallen angels? Now, I'm going to play this interview and I want to react to it. Somebody asked me, Nubreed, why you got a knife? Because we cutting. We sharp out here. And it's about time to slice and dice. You understand? So let's get into it.
Primary Water Explained is a YouTube. Again, Primary Water Explained will tell you about the depths of water. It always surfaces. It's the process of hydrogen and oxygen. When that merges together, that creates vapor. It must surface as a water form. And it does here in California and where you live as well, in hot and cold springs.
Whoa, wait, what did she just say? Let's go back. She's talking about why there were water shortages back in 2018. She's telling you exactly play by play and blow by blow. And let me make sure I got this woman's name right, because I can't be butchering her name. She did her thing. Let me go ahead and Google her name real quick, because I could be saying it wrong, right? So y'all can also have this information. One moment. Yep, her name was, I don't even see it on Google. I'm gonna have to look it up on YouTube here. Let me see if it has her name in the description. No, I'm pretty sure they'll say her name within the interview. I'm sorry for the interruption, y'all. Yeah, there you go right there. Thank y'all. Deborah what is it? Tavares? Deborah Tavares. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate you. Listen to what she had to say.
And oxygen, when that merges together, that creates vapor. It must surface as a water form. And it does here in California and where you live as well, in hot and cold springs. Also geysers that spray up out of the ground endlessly, where oases appear in deserts, sometimes where it very seldom, if ever, rains. Also at the very top of these volcanic mountain peaks in Hawaii, where you see these beautiful...
She even brought up Hawaii back in 2018. She's talking about the plans of rebuilding these cities. This is back in 2018, y'all. They were using, look, she already rolled out how they were going to be using direct energy weapons in order to rebuild the cities, to reconstruct them. And it is coming true. It is coming true. Hold on, let me see something. There's another video I want to share with y'all too about Hollywood, LA 2.0, but we'll get there. I'm gonna have to pull that up for y'all. One moment, but let's go.
Cascading waterfalls continuing to flow endlessly. This is primary water. And they blew up the primary water amazing eighth wonder of the world called the Great Man-Made River Project that Muammar Gaddafi created for his people in Libya. That was blown off the map. You can type in the Great Man-Made Water Project and you can watch it being built in Libya. It's an amazing feat. And the Libyan people were given 75% of their water for free. Now keep in mind, this is pure, clean drinking water. We've only been taught about the secondary water cycle, which is rain and snowmelt. Rain and snowmelt is actually the process of...
So she's breaking down that they were able to, through these direct energy weapons, dry up the land even more, where it's taking away clean water supply that's outside of their funneling systems. So follow me on this, y'all. Come down this trail here. Follow me here on this. What she's trying to say here is they're trying to get rid of all natural water supplies in these various places. So once they rebuild, it's easier to control the people because you control all the pipelines. And there's no way to survive outside of it. Outside of it means these desert-like places. If, let's say hypothetically, you're in a smart city and by some miracle you escape it. Let's say you escape it. All the surveillance, all of it. You get out. You will not survive outside of that city because you will not find any natural water supply because of the damage that they've done through the direct energy weapons. It'll be contaminated or non-existent, right? Let me see. Shogun says, this doesn't make sense. I'm being targeted by a direct energy weapon that uses high frequency sounds as a means of torture for the last 5 years. I can now prove it. So why doesn't this make sense? How could you be going through it? But anyway, look, I'm going to do you a favor and time you out because you too, you don't get it. You can come back in, but I'm about to time you out for a little while. I want you to think about what you said. Anyway, let's go.
The evaporation of primary water. So all of you need to know.
So that would be the evaporation of primary water, clean water.
We are floating on water. We are the water planet. And oftentimes we don't need to access it deeply, and sometimes we do. So again, primary water explained is a good illustration on how you access water.
So creating these false scarcities, we can make a scarcity and we can control prices just like we do with the oil, now switching to batteries when we've had free energy for over 100 years with Tesla. And what I understand with the attacks on Libya, Gaddafi, there's a wonderful, Muammar Gaddafi's manifesto. He had those people living in pleasure. They had free water, they
free
had
homes, free education.
And that's why they got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. This is why Muammar Gaddafi was mutilated publicly. They desecrated this man's body. He had clean water pipelines, clean water supplies for all his citizens, and he was making a new form of currency that was Xing out the American dollar, and he was going by a new gold standard. So America, under that weak-ass Obama, took Muammar Gaddafi out under Obama. And Gaddafi trusted Obama. This is how it happened. Gaddafi trusted Obama. He like, oh, y'all got a melanated brother in the office? No. Obama put the hit out on Gaddafi. I'm telling you, man, these people are the real live supervillains. Somebody said it in the chat. These people are damn diabolical, y'all. That's why the Most High said, if he don't come back, no flesh gonna survive this. Because these people are insidious. These people are fixated on destroying mankind. They don't want no freedom for nobody. That's real talk. Let's go.
Free education, and it was a model for the future, and that's why they took him out.
And he was just getting ready to back the dinar with gold. He wanted out of the Rothschild network.
Just like Lincoln was going to back the greenback and Kennedy was going to switch to the dollar. They will not allow that to happen. And to segue into Bitcoin.
That's right. Kennedy was trying to switch from the dollar to X out the shadow government. And he was trying to get rid of the Federal Reserve. That's not even a government structure. It's not even federal. The Federal Reserve is his own entity. Kennedy was trying to X that out, and he caught two in the head. He caught two in the head, man. It looked like spontaneous combustion. I'm telling you. Let's go.
They're allowing that to happen, so they want it to happen. It's not just rogue bunch of guys putting it out. They're going to a cryptocurrency and getting rid of the dollar bills, and then soon we'll have tattoos with our old datas on us and the rest of this. And the next segment, we're going to get into wetware.
Yes, and I would urge all of you to go to primarywater.org. Share this site far and wide. Our children are getting very depressed, and I just was hearing this morning on the radio, Jamie, that they want 12-year-olds now to take a survey because they're seeing depression in children, and they want to start.
Children are supposed to be depressed, but when you're dehydrated and you have a lack of nutrition and fresh air, it will cause depression. Let's go.
Medicating them and having them go to seek psychiatric intervention. And of course, why not? Our children are being taught that there's just too many people using too much stuff. And that's not true. And we need to do all we can to raise our children up with the idea that the scarcity is not real. It's an entire psyops, building new markets up on top of false scientific realities. So we can do anything that's positive. It's to share the good news of water, plentiful, pure, clean, fresh drinking water.
And that's why you have to have wells, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, you got to have wells. That well water is primary water. And that's why on UP Farms, we drink water straight out the well. And it is very refreshing. It's almost like resetting your whole system. But you need that well water. You need that clean water. But let's go.
So we're going to be going back into this meeting shortly. And we'll have more to share as we roll into the afternoon here in what's left of Northern California.
And I just wanted to add another thing with the water is grow your own food, folks. Teach your children how seeds work.
Grow your own food, folks. Teach your children how seeds grow. I mean, they were saying this back in 2018. I've been uttering these statements over and over like a broken record. In 2024, 2023, all the way through to 2025. I've been active out here, been in the community, been on land, dealing with brothers and sisters from different states who want to open up the land for the people. But we have to want to do better. We have to want to do these things. We have to want it. I don't want you brothers and sisters just watching New Breed Global Truth for entertainment. I want you watching me understanding that the kingdom does not come through observation. I want you to understand that you must inherit these trades and, actually begin to apply these things in your life. You got to be doers of the word, not just hearers. And that's why we like to set up these events. Same thing I've been saying, man. And this woman clearly called out that the fires, that they was going to burn down Northern California, and they did it. She said they used the direct energy weapon. She even foreshadowed the lack of water. They didn't have water in the hydrants, remember? She broke this down to the decimal and even brought up Hawaii. And this is my first time seeing this interview. And I told y'all last year that LA was going to be the first smart city. I told y'all last year LA is going to be the first smart city. And here we have it. The 2028 Olympics will be held in LA. Okay, somebody said, Bree, can you jump on the screen? I'm here. It is wildly accurate. It's wildly accurate. That's right. Let's go.
Work and where things come from. Get them as self-sufficient and as self-reliant, because as they're cutting down, we're going to have the market collapse. And when the market collapses, there's going to be a lot of poverty going on. They're already cutting 30% off mental health. They're kicking out the homeless again, cutting funding for everything. And this is while the Wall Street markets are doing extremely record highs.
Yeah, they're cutting funding for a lot of fire departments all over America. Do your research. And in Los Angeles, they did a lot of funding, a lot of cutting in LA just months previous to these fires.
The market's correct, which they're starting to do now. All of this will collapse. So it'll become self-sufficient, self-reliant, and join your community and join your neighbors. And I want to just take one moment here to thank a hero of mine, and that's Lou. Lou is on the cameras behind the scenes doing all the work, supporting Deborah and giving her.
I want to say this for the record. And I want y'all to hear me out, hear me clearly. Every major city will face a cataclysm in America. Every major city. Every last one of them. The interesting part is that Joe Biden, he gave California residents who were victims of that wildfire a one-time payment of $770. The interesting part of that is an Atlanta zip code. And these people really speak in code. It could be the next catastrophe in Atlanta. So don't get it twisted. And that's the area I'm near. I don't live in Atlanta. I live in Georgia. But the point I'm making is every major city, none of us can stop what's happening. And what we must do is start to gravitate towards the rural and country areas. That's the best way to deal with this situation. Start to maneuver, plan, plot, strategize, mobilize. See about getting your family in a different location outside of highly concentrated areas like cities, because that's where the most mayhem is going to take place. When the major shortages come, and they are coming, that's when all hell is going to break loose. That's when the purge starts. When those food trucks stop running, that's when it goes down. Move accordingly. Let's go.
The energy to come out here and providing the resources so we can see all this wonderful work this woman, this courageous woman is doing to help bring awareness, to help be the change we have to see. And please support Deborah at stopthecrime.net and do it yourself. It's not her doing the work that's going to make it better for everybody. It's all of us taking what she's doing and leveraging off it yourself in your own communities and in your own towns.
Well, Jamie, while I appreciate the gratitude given towards Lou and myself, I also want to thank you, because while we only recently met, I want to.
And that's interesting. 3 says, I think it'll be interesting to hear from the LA firefighters. I wonder if they were told to stand down. Well, a lot of the firefighters, they lost a lot of funding. There was $20 million in funding cut for the fire department in LA. So 9 times out of 10, a lot of the firefighters did not have the resources or materials needed to put out those fires. And seeing as how a lot of the hydrants didn't have water, it was nothing a lot of the firefighters could do. And the ones who fought to try to put out that fire, it was pretty much to the point where they couldn't fight it. It's like, whatever happens at this point, it ain't nothing more we can do. And so that's kind of how it went down. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the firefighters who really put their lives on the line for that job and want to protect and serve, I'm pretty sure they were outraged at the budget cuts. And the mayor, after she came back from vacation, she didn't have nothing to say about those budget cuts. Nothing at all. I mean, remained completely silent. So, bad leadership, poor judgment, or was it planned and staged? It's really looking like it was staged at this point. Let's go.
Say that it is so important that all of us connect with people that understand. That will help to fortify all of us. Stay aware. Watch Jamie's channel. What is your channel now? They keep taking
me down. It's the back to the original one of Plane, APLANE Truth. And you can look it up and see how long I'm still up. But this is such important work. And just to make really clear, this is going to happen everywhere, or is happening everywhere, these rollouts. And we're called to these times, folks. It's time to step up on the plate. It's not about you. It's sacrificing for the sacred, like our parents did, like their parents did. And we're going to be the change we have to see. But it's not going to be the end result. We have to start making the change. And thank you, Deborah, for everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Lou. Thank you, Jamie.
Catch you next time.
Hi, Deborah Tavares. I certainly do remind you that PG&E is currently under criminal probation. And Pacific Gas and Electric commiserated with the California Public Utility Commission in that email exchange about the laser DEW that was going to be used on Sebastopol in Sonoma County. So I know that this sounds crazy. It did to me at first too, but it came to our attention because PG&E's smart meter director tried to falsely integrate himself into a anti-smart meter movement.
Now, these smart meters were causing fires too, right? And we're going to get into that because she's talking about smart meters back in 2018. And what are they preparing for? A smart city. Let's go.
So that's how we came up with this email exchange. I think it's vitally important for you to check that out. I know that you have to work with now the perpetrator, as I see it, of this crime that happened to all of us. But I also want to talk about the smart meters and how the smart meters may have influenced the additional burning of fires, because the smart meters have caused.
She said the smart meters have basically helped with more fires. That's what them smart meters are really for. See, this is she about to drop the science on it. Let's get it.
May have influenced the additional burning of fires, because the smart meters have caused fires all over the world. And with the pulse frequencies that were occurring that night, which is one of the reasons that water station
now, these direct energy weapons also affect people, especially if you've been targeted and watched. This can actually burn your insides out. It's EMT. It's radiation, and it can cause involuntary muscle movements, pulsating in your body. It can cause strokes and heart attacks. It can literally burn you, create burns on your skin. It can lock your joints up. Like, let me tell you something, man. These people got some weaponry. Yeah, that's what it is. It's microwave technology. And see, people don't understand 6G been here. 6G is already here through the smart devices, the smart meters. Telling y'all. Real talk.
Spring Lake went down. I was sitting at the water agency meeting about that, and they did have to move on over from PG&E because of the pulse frequencies to their generator system, just what was being said to you right now. But it was pulse frequencies. They were browning out. And I know that many people in their homes were browning out too. So I think it's very important to take into consideration how.
Wow, this young lady here, or young man, young lady, don't know, Chosen One Indeed says, they put a smart meter on my house way back in 2012 in Sacramento, California. Wow. See, these things been around for a minute. Yep. Lon Diamond says they're like a giant taser. That's what they sound like. Yeah, they can really cook somebody from the inside out as radiation. It's like a microwave. Yep.
How did the smart meters facilitate the fires as well? I'd be curious to know what PG&E knew on the 16th floor of their weather room. On the 16th floor of the PG&E buildings, they have a meteorologist and a weather station. I actually had the opportunity to tour that. So it does exist. I'd be interested in knowing what PG&E knew about the weather.
She's about to drop some real fiery truth right here. Listen carefully.
Conditions themselves that night, being certainly that Rothschild was involved in Weather Central.
So the Rothschilds are involved in that weather center. Now, if you don't know who the Rothschilds are, they're pretty much the Idumeans, the reptilians, the Vikings, the vampiric people. They control a lot of major industries, and they are considered what you would label a royal family, so to speak. But they really just carry the serpent seed, and they don't even need, these people don't need money. A lot of them are half breeds, and they keep all their bloodlines within each other. These people don't need money because they make the money. They print the money. They're in charge of all the banks. Like, these are the people that she's talking about right now. Anyway, let's go.
Thank you for your comments. I'm Mary Morrison, and App Nubreedglobaltruth77, followed by John Chancellor. Deborah, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, you are talking about the wrong way. You let your exploiters talk at length here. They all want more staff, more money to take care of this problem, which you are not addressing. This is melted aluminum. This is melted aluminum. I got all kinds of them. I got 6-foot long pieces at home that I collected. This is a metal pan that went through it. It didn't melt. That's because the heat of these explosions was right around 1400 degrees.
Now, could it be that they used aluminum on some roofs? Come on now. Could it be there were certain houses that were sanctioned not to get burnt because they use this aluminum? Now, we already have on record that that some houses didn't burn. We got Joe Biden caught red-handed saying, hey, some of the houses didn't burn that was marked with the blue. Could have been aluminum that stopped it. See, I'm telling you, man, you got to piece this together. Let's go.
This didn't melt. This did. They were explosions. They were not fires.
They was explosions, not fires. So if that metal can survive an explosion, then no wonder certain houses didn't get hit up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's real talk. I hope everybody thinking caps is on right now. Let me see if I have that look, here it go right here.
Fire in the district here. So by the way, if you notice you fly over in the helicopter, those places with roofs, they didn't burn. It's the right material. Yeah. So we got to change that. Anyway. We got to put some trees. Moving people up.
The rules that had the blue didn't burn. And he says we got to change that. Those blue rules signify something Masonic. A lot of the Masonic lodges, none of them got touched. Yeah, Joe Biden got caught red-handed. If that's Joe Biden, you know, these people be wearing masks. That might be the mask. That might be his clone right there.
But also the opportunity.
Hold on. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Hold on. Let's go back.
Fire in the district.
Look like a mask, but let's go.
Fire in the district here. So by the way, if you notice you fly over in the helicopter, those places with roofs, they didn't burn. It's the right material. Yeah. So we got to change that. Anyway. We got to put some trees. Moving people up.
Yeah. Hey, listen. It's real. It's real. Let's go.
You all talked about how extraordinary they were. And the Supervisor Gorman talked about it was just like they were 50 years ago. We had the same fires coming down from Calistoga, so forth, in Santa Rosa. That took, what, 2 days?
You see, California always been on fire. He said that fire took 2 days.
This took 4 hours.
He said that one took 4 hours. Why? Because they have the right metals. What they're trying to show is, this is what they're trying to say. The powers that be know what type of metals to use for these homes so they won't build. They know what type of metals to use for building so they will not burn. They know how to deviate these fires, but they're not. Why? Because they want the smart city. They want the smart city. Let's go.
They weren't the same at all. You've got to start facing reality here. You're wasting a lot of time and money. And whether this thing's going to happen again, it'll only not happen again if you decide and uncover who caused it. And I submit it was a tax.
He said we got to figure out who causing these fires
on this county, so you wouldn't listen to Mary and I and others.
Now, mind you, this is a city council meeting. This is a city council meeting. They came and brung the fire. They came and brung the facts. I want to know what happened to Deborah now. Is Deborah still amongst the living? Is Deborah still around? It'd be dope to interview her. Like, that'd be fire. We got to interview Deborah. Somebody find Deborah for us. Let's get her on New Breed Global Truth. That'll be fire. For real. Anyway, let's go.
Hoping that you will hold Congress accountable for bankrupting
He said we need to hold the whole Congress accountable for bankrupting what?
this country under martial law.
For bankrupting this country under martial law.
107-243.
Wow. I'm telling you, they was bringing that fire. Now, this is the plan. LA 2.0.
But also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. And we already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0. And we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
For
Tell
this
us about this
region,
Marshall
we're just
Plan.
starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community with folks that love this community to really develop a mindset so that at scale, we're dealing with the scope of this tragedy and responding to it at scale with efficiency like the executive order I talked about, time value of delivering projects, addressing building codes, addressing permitting issues, and moving forward to rebuilding and being more resilient.
As you can see, they are putting all their ducks in a row to ensure that the Olympics 2028 will be held in Los Angeles, the city of fallen angels. That's Los Angeles 2.0. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to share the link in the chat for all you educated brothers and sisters who have been streaming with us today. I want you all to speak your piece. If you're in the Los Angeles area, definitely anybody from Los Angeles, anybody in California, come forward. If you just want to add on to what you're seeing in the world, if you want to bring some sources, some scripture, feel free. It's iron sharpening iron over here, and that's what it is. Now, there's more. There's more. Hold on one moment. Let me pull up some stuff here. Now, for those just joining us, this is what Miss Deborah Valder predicted back in 2018.
Infrastructure today, Tuesday, February the 27th, 2018. And there will be other local, state, and federal officials will be taking part as well. So they talk about the topics that will be discussed to include and prepare for a resilient city. It's all about resiliency, fire safety, utility infrastructure, and strengthening and improving our community warning programs. So I want to go over some of the things that I heard in this meeting. It's very diabolical. All the perpetrators of this event are here. They're building up from a planned disaster by the use of directed energy weapons, which you can hear that interview in full by Googling the plan to burn up Northern California. And of course,
this is on your site, stopthecrime.net.
Yes, and I am, of course, Deborah Taveras, and I do run the website, stopthecrime.net, where you can find that plan to burn up Northern California as well. But the agenda here today by the perpetrators here in Northern California was to, again, discuss the community warning program, preparing for a more resilient county. Now, for many of you, I've reported on resilient cities. I would recommend that you go to the YouTube Kill Cities by Rothschild and Rockefeller to understand what resilient planning is all about in your town. This is happening here in Sonoma County, but it's an extension of UN Agenda 21.
Kill Cities. I am looking that up. Kill Cities, Rothschild. Oh, wow. Let's see if we can get a Rothschild mystery unveiled 1 month ago. Wow. Rothschild mystery identity unveiled after man dies in Hollywood Hills house fire. Yo, how many of y'all remember this? Yo, how many of y'all remember this? This is how you know these are Satanists, bro. Oh, the rabbit hole, bro, goes deep. Hold on. Speaking of the Rothschilds and fires, this was 1 month before this catastrophe that took place, right? Hold on, let's go here real quick.
In new revelations about the man with the famous name who died in a mysterious Hollywood Hills house fire late last month.
A mysterious Hollywood house fire late last month.
But we begin with surprising new revelations about the man with the famous name who died.
Now, this was a month ago, this news brief.
But we begin with surprising new revelations about the man with the famous name who died in a mysterious Hollywood Hills house fire late last month. Neighbors believed he was a member of the Rothschild banking family and possibly a billionaire. But tonight, we've learned a lot more about the true identity of William de Rothschild and the hidden life he led for more than 40 years. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand joining us live now on the Hollywood Hills with those new revelations tonight. Jory.
That's right, Mark. The man who lived and died in this Laurel Canyon home was known to neighbors simply as Will Rothschild. They believed he was part of that famous family, but it turns out he was not, and his name originally was not Rothschild at all. It was Kaufman, and tonight we caught up.
So he wasn't a Rothschild, but he died in a house fire. Lesser magic. Showing y'all something. Showing you a mysterious fire where a Rothschild dies. And to come to find out the Rothschilds. Oh, man. Hey, I ain't going to say too much. Hey, y'all can piece this together, man. Y'all can piece. We out here slicing and dicing, man. I ain't going to say too much. I might have already said too much. For real. But anyway, what I was looking up was something else. I want to show y'all that documentary she was talking about. I'm going to get in a little bit into that. I'm going to watch the whole thing when I get off here. I'm definitely going to watch that whole documentary. Because that's my type of knowledge. Let me see. Hold on one moment. Yeah, they got a whole documentary, man. The Rothschilds, the truth behind the richest family, Empire of Shadows. I don't know if the Kill City one must be on the website. But let me give y'all a little rundown on the Rothschilds. In case y'all know who they are. You know what I'm saying? I am sharing the link. So, brothers and sisters, if you want to join, feel free. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. If you're in the Los Angeles area, go ahead and join in.
Few names are associated with wealth and power as that of the Rothschilds.
The Rothschilds are incredibly successful.
Their fortune is immeasurable, and they live glamorous, opulent lives.
Obviously, their extravagant lifestyles also drew criticism.
The name is also synonymous with conspiracy theories, anti-Semitic stereotypes, and persecution.
Because they are Jews, they are suspect.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching this joint. I'm definitely going to be watching this joint. Alec, you have to turn your device on. If you join in, brothers and sisters, make sure your cameras and mics are on. I got approximately 20 more minutes to chop it up if you want to join.
They emerged from the abject poverty of the ghetto.
This street was completely walled off.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk too much about them Rothschilds. We don't want that we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna get that label slapped on the channel. Nope, we ain't gonna do it. We're gonna keep it clean over here. Let's see. Let's start letting people in. What's going on, Jaleel? What's popping?
What's good? What's good? You can hear me?
Yep. Hold on one moment. Let me get you on the screen. Yes, sir. You loud and clear.
All right.
What's going on?
Well, hold on. Let me get my headphones on.
All right.
All right, you can hear me now?
Yes, sir. What's popping? What's going on with you, fam?
Nothing much. Just got back, just got home. But
Okay.
from what I see in this world, I feel like it's gonna be like a ticking volcano because I even wrote this in my story a couple years ago as well, back in 2023, where what's it called? The Yellowstone volcano will like erupt,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I don't know if that's possible. And I even heard recently that what's it called? There was like a volcano up in like New Jersey that is
Yeah.
somewhat active, I think.
Right, right.
Like
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like that's gonna happen, and then like a whole bunch of smart cities will like occur. Like I feel like the most will like occur in like New York, more on the west side, and probably up in the DMV, and maybe sometimes up in Florida.
Yeah, I believe that every major city is going to be affected soon because what seems to be transpiring is this. California is where all the trendsetters are at, meaning Hollywood. The actors, the actresses, all of them, they're pushed on the forefront of this proxy. And the world is going to follow suit. They're going to use the most popular celebrities to really promote the smart city, the first autonomous, totally self-autonomous smart city will be Los Angeles, and the celebrities are gonna make it look like it's the coolest thing in the world. They're gonna make, let me tell you, Hollywood, northern Los Angeles is gonna look like the coolest place. It's gonna look like a futuristic metropolis, and all the celebrities gonna be out there, and everybody's gonna want to go, and it's gonna be like going back to Sodom and Gomorrah. Literally, that's what the people are going to do. They're going to go back to Sodom and Gomorrah because of the influence of these idols. And then once they do that, the rest of the cities are going to follow suit. And they're going to come up with different ways. You bring up the volcanic eruptions. Like, that's real. Any natural disaster, they're going to use weather modification. They're going to use HARP.
Yeah.
They're going to use direct energy weapons. And they're going to make things happen in the cities. And you're going to start noticing, like, yo, why all these catastrophes happen in the middle of the city?
Yeah.
How is things happening in nature spilling over to where everything is concentrated? That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
because
they're gonna
build it up. Yep.
They're gonna try and push that chip out too.
Yep. Absolutely. Jaleel, what area are you in? You in Baltimore?
I'm on the outskirts of Fayetteville right now.
Oh, okay. Fayetteville, what? Virginia or Georgia?
North Carolina.
Oh, Carolina. Okay. That's what's up.
And what's it called? Fayetteville has been heating up lately. It's been like recent like shootings from like last month lately. So I try to be careful on that too.
Right. Absolutely, man. You know, that's another thing that they'll do in a lot of these cities, these mass shootings. So, you know, brothers and sisters, when we talking about veering off and finding peace in more rural country areas, like that's something you should consider. Because the cities are prophesied to go into this type of chaos, right?
Yeah.
But thank you, Jaleel. I appreciate you, bro. Come on anytime. I'm gonna allow a couple more guests to join. Thanks, man. Till next time.
Yeah, no problema. All right.
Salute. Peace. Yeah, that's real talk. Any way they can try to, you know what I'm saying, cause, you know, issues in order to get these smart cities up. Let's see. We got Christian Javante. Your name right, bro? Javante?
Cervantes.
Yes, sir. Okay. Hold on. Let me get you on screen here.
Hey, what up, man?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on with you, bro?
Man, I'm all right. You know what? I'm gonna give you credence. I've been watching you for 5 years. You are so right, man. And you know what, New Breed, I'm gonna be real. It makes sense what you said. Like the celebrities will always push it out. Like you're right. They'll try to make it look cool. And like I believe maybe starting 2026, and like they're gonna do it more closer to 2030.
Yep.
Like I live in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't see nothing about that yet. I think it might be one of the last few ones they might try to implement it. But I want to say this, because Bill Gates bought a lot of farmland in Nebraska, 90%.
What?
And yes, man.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some prime real estate in Nebraska too. That's good. That's good land.
And you got to remember, like I'm in the breadbasket. Whoever controls like Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, to extent, if they can control the food, which especially Nebraska, they can control everything, because like, when all these natural disasters happen on the West Coast and the East Coast, like where are people going to turn? They're going to toward inland.
Yep.
So I believe like a lot of smart cities are going to be in the middle of the Midwest.
That's real talk, man. You just told me, taught me something that I ain't even know, because like you said, the breadbasket produces a lot of the food here in America. And these are the things that we constantly reiterate about planting, learning how to, till soil, becoming more agricultural. And I gotta take a trip out there, man. How is it out there in Nebraska? I've never been in Nebraska, and that's one of the places I've actually want to visit, because it seems kind of peaceful out there, and it seems different than anywhere else in the States. What's your take?
It can be cold. It can be cold.
That part, yeah.
But you're not. Huh? Oh yeah, sorry. You're not wrong, New Breed, though, because it is. Believe me, unless I live in Omaha, and unless you start a problem, the hood area really isn't anything.
Right.
So as long as you kind of keep to yourself,
right,
you're really gonna have no problems. It's gonna be nice. It's not as expensive as the East Coast and West Coast.
Right.
Shoot.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Thanks for that information. But like you were saying, just to double down on what you were talking about with the celebrities, by 2028, that's when the Olympics start, and they already then sanctioned it in LA before the fighters, and it was already advertised as Smart LA on the Olympics. Like if you go to the Olympics page, so it's crazy. It was already advertised as Smart LA, which points to something more like, something more ominous that they got going on, because how did they know? So it's so many things. And then on the new Grand Theft Auto, another thing, on the new Grand Theft Auto, they got LA 2.0 already. The game is damn near made already. You know what I'm saying? So how did, in the making of the game, all of the gamers that was playing it, they showing, hey, look, they got LA as a smart city in this joint. How? It's like the celebrities are in on it. It's a Hollywood production. They got them acting. They also used a lot of AI for some of these fires, like the Hollywood sign being on fire and all of that. There's people with timestamps actually pulling up like, yo, the sign is not on fire. I'm here. It's this time of the day. And so they used a lot of manipulation to make it really work. You know what I'm saying? But that's deep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, brother. I mean, like I said, people need to get out of their ego. I've been fasting a lot more, and then I've been actually be able to listen to a lot more content again. So I guess I would give anyone else a tip just to start fasting, praying.
Nice.
And getting into the word, because like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little like lost for like last month a little bit, but then I started this church fast, and I said, you know what, I'm starting to think clearly.
That's what's up.
Shoot. Food is a drug, man. So yeah, but yeah, man. I hope if you come to Omaha, man, just My email is batteram, BATTERAM 1985 @gmail.com. So if you're ever in the area, give me a holler.
For sure. Thank you, brother. Peace and blessings to you. I'll do that.
Peace.
All right. Peace. Yeah, that's a good brother right there, man. He broke some stuff down. And again, fasting is very important, man. Very important, because you might have it might come a time where you got to get used to eating one time a day or one time every 48 hours. Like, your body has to get used to that, because you never know when austerity measures are here. You never know when you got to make that type of move and be used to it. Be used to being able to survive off one meal, as well as the spiritual ramifications of fasting, the spiritual enlightenment that comes, and all of that, all of the above. So absolutely, fasting and prayer is key. Somebody said, come to Iowa. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be going a lot of places, just really touching bases with the people. That's something that, I did a lot more of a few years back on my platform. I would go to various places, Black Wall Street, Africa, Jamaica, going to just different states in general, going to the West Virginia, Tennessee, out there, and, around Pigeon Forge, going different places. And the Bible says a traveled man availeth much wisdom. So I got to get back into my traveling once this weather break, and actually be touching bases with y'all, because that's really doing the work. When I'm able to shake hands with the people, you all, and meet y'all, and we can really, come up with something tangible and real. That's what it's about. And this event that's coming up, the next event will be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're going to be renting out a hotel, and we're going to have a nice lobby there, and we're going to talk business, man. The real movers and shakers, the real potential investors who want to get down with UP Farms and actually do something, plant our own gardens, and do the things that, we talk about. Of course, if you want to just come as a meet and greet or whatever the case is, and you want to go enjoy the beach and enjoy yourselves, you're able to do that too. But for those who want to sit around a round table, you brothers and sisters that want to do something, we can put our skills and our trades and our minds together and come up with something that will be offered to you. You know what I'm saying? So we are looking forward to the next event. And this time it'll be in a business setting. It'll be a lot more comfortable than, being on a camping trip, right? But let's see. We got brother James in the building. What's going on with you, bro?
Yo, shalom, Bree. What's going on, man?
Shalom. Where you calling from?
I'm down here in Florida, bro.
Okay, cool.
South.
So I know you. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you get the floor.
Okay. You're on it, man. I typed into your chat earlier. It's super frustrating to bring this type of stuff up, and people just stare at you crazy, bro. So it's like I give me and my wife and my babies, like, whenever you stream, bro, like, we sit down or we put the phone on, we listen, and it's like having another person who's in the truth. It feels good. So,
man,
shout out to you, man.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that. And all praises to the Most High. And that's what it's all about, man. Iron sharpening iron, and, being able to congregate with people who are like-minded, because that is not easy to find out in this world, dealing with the spiritually dead. So now it's an honor to even be building with you, bro. So I know you've been kicking back watching this broadcast. What do you think the plans are for the other major cities?
Well, it would be awesome to see you have a stream where you go into it. I actually looked onto the I think it's the World Economic Forum website, and they have a list of cities where they have these plans to adopt a smart city, and it's not going to all be at once. Some of them are just like the transportation infrastructure is going to be adopted as a smart city. The city that I'm in right now is trying to do an overhaul where they're putting driverless buses and taxi systems as part of public transportation. and that's
Wow.
like, you know, a multi-year plan. But you
And
know,
what city in Florida you in?
uh, I like to keep that to myself. I'm in
Okay,
the north.
okay.
I'm in the north part. North.
Okay, got you,
North
got you.
Florida.
Northern Florida. Okay,
Yeah.
that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every place is not going to be all exactly the same. But it would be awesome to see, you know, if you're led to do so, to see you kind of go into that on your own time.
Okay, no doubt about it. If you can, you can email me that source, and I'll. Well, you said it's the World Economic Forum, but you know, it's, yeah, I can look that up. No doubt.
Yeah.
about it.
They have, you know, they the way, you know, how they operate. They got to put everything out to,
Yeah.
you know, get permission essentially
Right.
to let you know what
Real
happens.
talk.
But
The
I
drivers.
wanted to
Go ahead.
say two things, if that's okay.
Yes, sir. Got it.
The way the enemy kind of works is in cycles. I had typed in earlier on your chat that it was like the Tower of Babel when you brought up that you could speak to people live time in other languages. If you notice in the U.S. history about 100, 120 years ago, almost every city in the United States had a major fire or earthquake before it was rebuilt. Now, I have my own understandings and theories about that. I personally believe that they were destroyed and rebuilt. Almost every city in the United States has a multi-layered city underneath where we have just built over top. And I believe even in the city that I'm in, we had one of the biggest fires in the United States for that time period. So either through natural disaster, I don't think it's new. I think these people been doing it for a long time. I personally believe that the world wars and the civil wars and things like that was just an attempt to bury the past and build over top of it. And we were taught, you know, the winners of war get to write history. So we were taught from the people who won the war, so to speak.
Right.
That's the one thing I wanted to say. So it makes sense that the powers that be are using fire to burn down things to build over again in a more modern sense, and they're gonna keep doing that. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on was about the metals. There's a reason why you don't put aluminum foil into the microwave, because when you put foil and metal into a microwave, it explodes.
Yep, exactly.
I wanted to say that too about people's health.
Right.
If these certain type of technologies can be shot at buildings and infrastructure, what do you think it does to the human body if you have heavy metals and toxins?
Exactly.
So, you know, just as you were just touching on fasting, you know, there's things, if we're eating the way that we're supposed to in harmony with Yah's creation, the body is going to detox itself. If you're exercising the way you're supposed to, if you're out in the sun the way you're supposed to be, the body is going to be cleansing itself and ridding itself of these chemicals. A lot of the things that are coming to this world are based on you becoming an antenna, you having metals in your body. And when certain frequencies are put out, whether it be over cell phones or radios, it will do certain things to your molecular structure, your DNA, your thought patterns, your behavior. It will turn on and turn off certain parts of your brain. I've had dreams about this where they put things in the music, and certain people who have metals in their body will start to behave beast-like and animal-like. So,
That's
you know,
a fact. And that's some valuable information right there. And that's why, you know, hey, look, we got to be taking care of mind, body, and soul. You know what I'm saying? All of the above. You know, a lot of the times we'll be educated on, you know, what's going on in the world, but look, you got to be educated on what's going on in your body as well. There's a study shown that your stomach is actually the second brain. If you look at your intestines and your gut, it looks just like a brain. So literally, your stomach has a brain. So in order to function optimally, you want to be, you know, healthy. And fasting, by the way, since we brung that up, y'all got to keep in mind your digestive system is the hardest working organ in the human body. It's constantly breaking down food. It's constantly being active. Fasting gives that the hardest working organ and the biggest organ in your body a break.
That's right.
That's that way the rest of your body can utilize its energy to heal you on a molecular level and even it's even studies show that it can help your blood as well, your blood flow and things of that nature. So
That's right.
definitely think about health. Health is wealth. And Brother James, you dropped a load of knowledge there, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, thank you for opening the platform and the floor up for everybody, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, y'all be good.
Peace. Yes. Yeah, man, we got some real knowledgeable brothers. See, that's what I'm talking about, that iron sharpen iron, man. Shout out to that brother, man. Feel free to come on anytime. I'm going to allow Jameer Bardry in. What's going on with you, fam? I think he might have got knocked out. Let's see. Let's bring in Jay Mira. Look like his device may be loading. Yeah, man, this stuff is real. What's going on with you? Yes, sir. What's going on with you?
Yo, peace and blessings, bro.
Hey, what's going on?
I just want to say shout out to you, bro. Keep doing your thing. All the freedom fighters of the music, yourself, mine included. I just want to name drop a couple artists if I got time, bro, for your own personal benefit to check out. Baruch Follows Jesus, Killian Boone. Those guys of those nature. And shout out to the book of spiritual healing too. I got that book. I actually ran into somebody a few years ago that told me about that book. But all blessings to the Most High. You know, like we always say, we got to take care of ourselves. You know, always drink water. You know, mix your fruits, exercise, like he said, get the sunlight. Do things to keep the spirit tight. You know,
that's right.
As well as we got to think about ourselves. We got to think about our future generation. You know, because their health is important too. You know,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know if you see my comment. My grandma used to have a well in Mississippi, and you know, she always used to tell me, you know, always drink this well water to keep you well. Yeah, I never forgot that.
That's right.
So you know, with that being said, I just want to hop on here, bro. Tell you honestly, man, keep doing your thing. Drop more motivational music, man, as well, and just
for sure.
It's been a journey and a blessing to support you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate the encouraging words, man. It means a lot to me. And hopefully, you know, we'll chop it up in person. You know what I'm saying? For everybody who joins.
Definitely, bro. We will. When the time.
That's right.
Facts. You know, everything works on God's time, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, bro.
Thank
Peace,
you, brother.
blessings.
Appreciate it. Peace and blessings.
Appreciate you.
All right. You too. Thanks, man. And, you know, that's what it's about, man. You know, sometimes when we have these broadcasts, man, we go into different diatribes and different conversations because that's what it's about, letting the spirit move how it moves. That's why I like to open up the line towards the end of these broadcasts. But, man, this was a powerful stream. We went live for 2 hours here, and we're going to be having more of these. If y'all want to support my work, if you really like what I do, consider supporting me via Cash App. You know, I'm putting in this work, doing this investigative journalist work. And I do this for y'all. Even though some of the information I put out is putting my livelihood in jeopardy, I risk my platform all the time just to bring you the truth, just to bring you something different other than celebrity gossip. I want to bring you something different other than nonsense. So I want to just do a shout out for people who have been supporting. And I want to let y'all know that y'all appreciate it. Revolutionary Los, thanks for the support. Appreciate it. I'm reading off the Cash Apps. And Jamaris, thanks for the support, bro. I'm appreciative. Jarino, thanks for the support. Charisse Neely, thank you for the support. Bavinda Fernandez, thank you for the support. And I'm just naming off you brothers and sisters to let you know that you are appreciated. And if y'all feel free to support me now, you know what I'm saying, after putting in this stream, not knowing whether or not this will be monetizable, not knowing if this can stay on the platform, you know, support my work. You know what I'm saying? That keeps me motivated to do the work. And, you know, it is what it is. Always support your interests. People who pour into you, pour into them. charity covers the multitude of sins, right? So I want to thank y'all all in advance for y'all's much needed support in this journey, in this work. Look, y'all be blessed. Have a great evening. More material was coming. Thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay up, stay motivated. With that being said, shalom and peace.